Happy birds. They're gonna love grass. So I got another project going that I have to get done. The Cornish cross, the jumbo Cornish cross chicks are a little over 2 weeks old. They're getting big. And I have to be prepared now in just a few days to put them out on pasture. The key to that is setting up chicken tractors or broiler pens, as they're sometimes called. I've looked at a couple of different styles. I'd originally set out to make the Salatin style, which is 10 by 12 and about 2 feet high, and all the birds go in there. And then they've got, a metal roof. It's supposed to be aluminum because, aluminum doesn't draw in the heat. It's not gonna, I've heard it say, it's not gonna turn it into an easy bake oven inside there with my chicks because the roof is like right at their head level, I couldn't source aluminum at a price that was reasonable. I can get plenty of sheet metal, but that stuff really heats up. Like right now, even with the chicks in the middle of the day, I turn off the heat lamps in order to keep the temperature inside the brooder at a reasonable level, which is between 85 and 90 degrees. So I'm gonna go with the Suscovich style, which is a little bit smaller in terms of its footprint on the ground. Actually, it's half the size. And but what it has is it has a curved top to it, which is covered in a tarp, a heavy tarp. I'm going to try it and see how it works. And so what I'm doing today is I've been out. I bought. I bought all the materials, and I'm in the process now of cutting them to size in accordance with, hang on, I can point at it. I got it. There it is. In accordance with the manual, the instructions for building it. I'm hoping that this is going to be a good solution. It's 2 tractors or 2 broiler pens as opposed to 1, but I think the additional space will be good for the birds with the Florida sun, and it'd also be good for me because I can get at them a little bit easier. Joel doesn't have any problems. Obviously, he's been doing that for a long time, and I was totally prepared to adopt his style. But with this other style pen, we'll see how it works. I'll do it for 1 season. If it doesn't work, I'll change. I'll pay the extra money to get the aluminum. The aluminum roofing, the problem was it itself, was expensive. Kind of right on the edge of prohibitively expensive for the material. Shipping was what was killing me. It was more expensive to ship than it was to buy. So that's a problem. Anyway, so I'm going to get these things all cut up down to size and then get prepped to begin assembly. All right, did a lot of measure twice and cut once. I have before fallen victim to that age-old joke of no matter how many times I cut it, it's still too short. Looks like everything so far is cut. I've still got these 1-bys that I need to cut to size. But here's the thing. They're for constructing the opening in the door, and I watched a video online and the guy was like, do the door last. So I think the wisdom is going to be in finishing prepping all of this, build the frame out, and then do the door, like as the last thing. I've looked at the instructions. I think it can be done without affecting the overall integrity of it as you assemble it. So we're going to find out. Yep, that's what we're going to do. He wants us to use half lap joints for some of these, just to bring stuff together. It's all right. It just takes a little time. Done them before, so there's a couple of tricks to help just shortcut the prep process. Actually doing it's just long. You just got to grind it out. I'm going to be doing this for like an hour. And so on and so forth. Okay, so finished gluing up the main pieces here. This obviously will be a base piece with doorway coming up. Two sides, boom, boom. These longer ones are the bottom in the back. All right, got the frames assembled yesterday, and it's now the next morning. But now I got to get the covered wagon piece on there. That's 1/2 inch EMT or electrical conduit. That took a lot longer than I thought it was going to yesterday. But get there. Okay, making good progress. Got the netting on, the chicken netting on the top. That was a lot longer than I thought it was going to take. Got it over here, got one of the doors built. So I'll get that mounted today. So when I get I'll build the other door this morning real quick and then mount both doors. And then start putting some of the other pieces of hardware in, and then eventually the tarp will go over and I will move them out over there, and that will be the place that they're pastured. And I have some electric fence that I'll put around them just for a second line of protection, or a first line actually. Okay, here we go. Okay, good. Doors are on. Things sort of actually work, which is pretty exciting. I hung a couple of these, and so this will be this one, and this one will be for a feeder, which will hang down, and it's going to be you'll see it later on. It's a big piece of 4-inch PVC, about 5 feet long. And then here, I'll have a watering tray down. And then on this piece on the back, I'll actually hang a 5-gallon bucket with water in it. And then it will feed into the waterer. Some people just put watering nipples at the bottom of the buckets. I had already bought the water trays, so I'm going to try and make that work. Put in a couple of eye hooks. All right, nice 4-inch thick eye hooks. I got some cable here. I'll build a long strap, and then the ends of those straps will have carabiners on them, so I can clip it in and out and move it out of the way so it doesn't get in the way of the door or any of that stuff. And that's how I'll pull, moving backwards each day to move this forward one full length to get the chickens off of, all their manure and everything onto fresh salad bar. And then at the back, got these 6-inch carriage bolts, about a 1/2 inch, and these steel centered tires. These are 7-inch. He recommended 9 inches in the design, John Suscovich did. I couldn't find those, so I went with this, and then I'm mounting the bolt lower. So it's enough to lift it up, and I set it further back as well, so like a hinge, it should be able to get on the tire and not drag the base around. So you only need 2 tires because they pop off and they move between tractors, right? So there, and there. So next step is going to be to put the tarp on these things and then move them into position way out there. So I'm pretty excited about finally getting these things up and moved. And then once I get them in position, I'll hook up the brooder and I'll drive it out and then put 30 birds in each one of these. So I'm pretty excited about it.